The women who work at Fox News have to deal with their share of jokes, but the other night, TBS's Conan O'Brien went way over the top.
Here's a book, a coffee table book that just didn't sell. It's called Fox News Anchor or Porn Star. You have to figure it out.
That was Jenna on the cover of that bogus book, and she decided to speak out on her Facebook page. As a wife and a new mom, this trashy comment is not only inappropriate, it's clearly ridiculous. In fact, Conan brings up a sad truth. Some women feel the need to dress and look like porn stars to make it on TV. I wonder where they get that idea. Could it be that the more provocative and sexy their social media photos are, the more followers they get? My theory is my body should never be more important than my body of work, and I'm not done building the ladder. I spoke to the co-anchor of Happening Now from New York. Jenna, welcome.
Hi, Howie.
You don't usually seek out the limelight. Why have you decided to speak out so strongly against this Conan O'Brien joke?
Well, listen, in our business, in our line of work, Howie, you really have to have a great sense of humor, and you have to let things roll off your back. But at a certain point, I believe that silence makes you complicit. And maybe it was just a random Tuesday, and I felt like I needed to say something, but this was the moment that I felt like I couldn't be silent about it. And I think it really resonated. But now you have a master's from Columbia Journalism School. You've interviewed presidential candidates. You've gone behind the scenes with the FBI. But do you feel like almost no matter what you accomplish professionally, there are going to be some people going to say, yeah, well, she's on TV because she's a pretty face? Well, being on television is a visual medium. People are going to look at the way that you look. So that comes with the territory, and quite frankly, I'm not too worried about that, Howie. I do want to make sure that I continue to do a lot of really interesting projects, because at the end of the day, the viewer is the most important. So we want to make sure we put the best product out there. Part of that is looking good and looking professional, but part of that is also producing a great product. Right, but there are distractions, as you know, and you say in the Facebook post that you dress conservatively. You also say some women in TV news do dress like porn stars. And so my question is, does the culture, as you hinted at, encourage that? Does sex sell when it comes to TV? I don't believe in the culture making anyone do anything. I think it is really important that women take full responsibility and are fully accountable for the decisions that they make on television, because, as you mentioned, we're dealing with a lot of different variables, and people do focus on the way that we look. So I would encourage all women, and especially the younger women that I've talked to really frequently, to think about how they're presenting themselves, because it does matter. And I made mistakes in the past, Howie. Sometimes I look back on what I wore at the very beginning when I first started on the air. I think the skirts were too short, and you learn from that, and you realize that's not how I want to look. Why did you do that? Were you trying to impress the bosses of the audience? No, I certainly wasn't. Part of it was that the style was that the skirts were really short, and so you kind of follow some of the style and you figure out what actually works on television. But also, I was a lot younger. I was in my mid-20s, and when you're in your mid-20s, you make different decisions. But now, as someone in my 30s, I'm very comfortable with the longer hemline, and I think I will be from now on. Right. Well, it must be frustrating, I would think, to work as hard as you do at your job and then have this, you know, porn star joke made. Do you think that Conan O'Brien owes you an apology? I don't think he owes me an apology. He was trying to be funny. He failed, clearly. A lot of the viewers that weighed in also thought it wasn't really that funny. But I think my point has been received really well. And a lot of young women, and even some of the men around the office, have commented that they really appreciated my response. And I go back to something that we see in news very often, Howie, that bad behavior is allowed because good people don't say anything. And I felt this was a really good opportunity to say something, and I hope that a lot of the young women out there that are trying to come up in whatever career that they're attempting to really think about what it takes to be a professional woman and to be successful, and realize that they don't have to dress provocatively to be a success one day. I think your message has really resonated. And by the way, nice dress. I know you asked your fans on Instagram, what should you wear? Good choice. Jenna Nothing. I just wanted to make sure I had sleeves and everything, Howie. We had to keep it. And you too, by the way. You look great. Thank you for that, Jenna, and thanks for joining us. Thank you.